Hey, Waimea, this is Kurt, and we're on a little road trip today. I want to show you some of the scenery and talk about what we're finding in Joshua. Let's go. So we were thinking today, as I was reading Joshua, you remember I told you be ready for a couple of statements, because in Exodus, one of the reoccurring themes that kept coming back time and time again was the idea of "I'll be with you." God saying, "I'll be with you." It's kind of a constant reminder throughout the book of Exodus that you keep hearing this phrase. And I said, so be ready and look for it in Joshua. So right off the bat, you read chapter 1, and you find that theme reiterated, don't we? You see him come to Joshua and say, I will be with you. And he makes some promises alongside that. But it's, I think we read that at times, and it almost becomes kind of routine for us, doesn't it? It's like we kind of forget it's there. We kind of even gloss over it a lot of times. But if you think real carefully about that statement, Christianity is, the only religion in the world where the Creator God, the God that's in control of the universe and our lives and everything else, and the maker of all things, makes that statement to his people. I will be with you. And it's the only one. So I think it's real important. So you find this promise throughout the Bible. It starts with Abraham, really. You see God implying it inside the statement when he tells them, go and I will show you where you need to go. But it's a direct promise to Isaac, direct promise to Moses and Joshua. It's a direct promise to the Israelites in their exile. And Mary receives the same promise, I will be with you. It becomes Jesus' name, Emmanuel, I'm with you. And then, in fact, Jesus leaves us with that commission in Matthew 28, does he not? When he says, lo, and I'll be with you until the end of the age. And so you have this promise that runs throughout the Bible, through Acts, and you see it time and time again, Paul talking about it, Peter talking about it in the New Testament as well. So we have this promise that we're dealing with in the Bible, God with us. I will be with you, he says. And what we have to remember and what we have to understand is that in a real sense, in a true sense, this is subjective to us. It's not objective. It's not out there, but it's directly to us. And so in a true sense, what God's saying is that I will make my things work out for you. The things I'm involved with you, the things I'm doing with you will work out. And we need to remember that. And that's why he promises that to Joshua right there. In fact, this statement becomes the enabler of Joshua's strength and Joshua's courage to fulfill what God's asking him to do. I will be with you. You will be successful and prosperous. And it's because I will be with you. And so we hear that not only for Joshua, but we'll see it again and again in the book of Joshua, but we'll see it again in the New Testament as we study and move along. God with us. This little idea of I'll be with you kind of stands into contrast with what most times our life is all about. We just got done with Wizard of Oz, as you know, and the wizard, the great and powerful wizard, gives Dorothy and her companions a task to do, which was to go get the witch's broom. And he said, go get this thing accomplished. And they had to go out and do it on their own. The wizard didn't come with them. And I think that's how we in life think a lot of things are. But yet with God, that's not how he sees life. He says, I want to do this thing with you. I want to be with you. I want to go with you. We're on this journey together. And I think that's pretty important for us to remember with this first point. So the first big idea in the book of Joshua, chapter 1, is that idea of I will be with you. The second idea that we want to deal with really is that God says, meditate on these things, these words, day and night, and in doing so, you'll be successful and prosperous. Now, he's not coming at this from the standpoint telling Joshua that in order to be a good leader, you have to meditate on these things like a mantra or a Hindu chant or something like that. But he is telling him, he's saying that these things are foundational in your life as a disciple of Moses, as a disciple of God's. And so what he is saying is that your success as a leader is tied to your commitment at being his disciple, which is huge and has a huge implication for each one of us. Squirrel. So here are the implications of that statement, that really success and prosperity in life is tied to being a follower of Jesus. That's just plain and simple. That's what he's saying with these things. It's not the skill sets, it's not money or power or really even position, but really our place inside of Christ as his follower, his disciple. Good people, good leaders, prosperous leaders are the ones who are committed to discipleship as his follower. And that's just the plain and simple truth of that idea. Which is why our system design, as we begin to plant in Waimea, will be centered around life in Christ. It'll be centered around our being his disciple. Everything that we do will flow out of learning how to consistently follow and obey and do the things he calls us to do. So those are the two big ideas I have this week. I hope you guys are having a great time, and we'll see you soon. Enjoy your day today.